Hello paper crafters, welcome to my newest video. I have a set of 4 lifestyle crafts, formerly known as quick cuts dies, to show you. The first one, I'm going to get right into the showing you the release, and then what the designer for this release was Carol Masterson, what lovely creation she made. So this first set is called, right here, it's Pop-Up Box. It's a set of 4 dies, and it makes this lovely little box where you can have on the top of it either a butterfly, a heart, or a floral. I'm going to turn it over so you get an idea of the size of the creations here. And it is also number DC0242. The next set is right here. This is called the Basic Envelope Set, and it is a set of 11 dies. And in this, there is the envelope and a smaller envelope with an insert, and then these little accents to go on the envelope, which are very sweet, which you card makers will really like these dies. They're a great size. I'm going to flip it over so you can kind of see the dies and what they look at like. This is number DC0244, and there's a jumble in here, but there's the little envelope, there's the insert. And remember, with inserts, if you don't cut one of the sides, you put your paper a little bit inside there, you now will make a card. If you put the fold there, it won't cut it, and now you have a card that will fit inside of your envelope. Just a little hint there if you don't want to measure. Just cut it out, put the crease inside one of the edges. Next set is first place it's called Disc Envelope. It's a set of 5 dies. This is a really fun set, and it makes this lovely little envelope, and the windows to go with the envelope are an oval, this kind of a frame, another frame, and of course the circle, which we're all used to on our disc envelopes. I'm going to flip it over so you can see that indeed these cutouts are large, because on the back, the front side, it's a little deceiving. The number of this set is DC0245. This is a true CD envelope. It will hold nice square cards, or a CD if you want to make a disc to send somebody, whether it be musical or something with pictures on it. And this would make a nice little gift to make it handcrafted and make it your own. And the last one is an old release that one of my designers had, but never could figure out what to do with it, because she thought they were too big for cards. But these are great dies. They are called swirls, and I think they're great for cards if you're looking at like a background. And I'm going to flip it over so you can see the size of these. It is DC0099, and these swirls make up a lovely pattern background, and it went nicely with this release. Carol Masterson has a wonderful brain to design things, and she made all of this release come together. So let's get on to what Carol made, and we'll get to the one I think a lot of you will be interested in here, is the disc and the envelope. So here we go. Let's look at these, the disc set that made the envelopes. So you can see by simply taking your paper and running it through an embossing folder, you can make a wonderful plain envelope for any card or anything you may like. That is so easy. Just emboss it and cut it, or actually I would cut it first, then emboss it, because you'll lose your flatness of embossing, and you have a wonderful card. Second one is a Christmas theme. Isn't this cute? Look at this. I'm trying to see if I can get you to see this here. I got the my camera frame here. There we go. You can see embossed in there. And again, just a nice little simple envelope. We pop it open and we open it up right here. Beautiful. Now Carol gave us a traditional one. Now she made this. This isn't out of a box out of Staples. She made this. She took the circle insert and did it. I'm gonna put my hand in there to show you. See, there's the circle. She put a piece of acetate behind the circle to make it. So, and it's got nice too, a nice little added touches. You don't have to seal it. You can use this little flap when you want to just put it and not mail it. And she made 2 of those. There's another one. Now here's one where she put the tag on the front, added that on, and she put baby's first year and put some little cuts that she made, probably with some punches there. Remember to visit my designers blogs for ideas or questions you may have. And again, there's the back. And this one is another beautifully embossed one, very elegant. Nice look to that. That would be so pretty to receive that as a card, and the card just goes in there. And they're really nice to open. They open so easily. You put your card in. Here's the oval to give you an idea of the size. Happy birthday 2012. It was my birthday when Carol sent me this. This is how long I've had this release. Poor Carol waiting. And here is one she made, family tree, and she put a tree on it for the envelope and used that other label there that was included in the set. And here's the other label, happy birthday mom, and she put some little candle punches there, and just it's unlimited. She made a lot of cards just to show you the different labels and what you can do. She printed these off her computer and then cut them out. You can make any square envelope you want. And if you're anything like me, you love square cards. I am a square card. I love square cards and circular cards. I don't like the standard A2. Even though it's easy to cut an 8.5 and 11 sheet of paper in half, I like square cards. So now if I always can make a easy square envelope. And people say, oh yeah, I have my electronic die cutters and I use those. I have my electronic die cutters too. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. I go to my dies first. People are different in what they prefer. I go to my dies because I like the fact that my dies give me crisp, clean cuts. They're easy for me to pull out, line up on my paper the way I want the design to be, and mass produce. I don't like when I pull off my electronic cutter, my paper curls. That drives me crazy, and to me it's time consuming to try to straighten my paper out. And for big cuts now we're talking. Small cuts, I love it. But when we're making big cuts like these envelopes, I like to use dies. Now, next creation here we're going to go on to is the pop-up boxes. And I know some of you have been waiting for these. I've gotten emails and oh, they are adorable. Look at these boxes from that set. So Carol made these 3 boxes, and I will give each one their point in time to be perused here. So we have these boxes that she embossed the paper and then added all the little trinkets and elements to it that are so beautiful. And then they are made so there is this element where there's a slot there, and you can open the box and then you go through here and just like that, and then your treat can go in there. And Carol was saying this is the perfect size for a ring box or wedding favors or little candies. And I think about work, and at work you don't want to go and spend $10 or $15 for everybody you like at work that may have done a kind deed for you and it's their birthday. But if you're a paper crafter, it's not a big deal to, if you invest in little items like these and you fill this up with M&Ms and you make this box yourself, people really like this. This is the kind of things that left on a desk, people are just amazed and they don't believe you made that. And they ask, how'd you do it? And then you've created another paper crafter, and so on. But here is this little heart one where she embossed the panels here. And I won't open every one for the sake of time, but I want to show you how adorable it is to have these little tags here that seal them shut. And it's so nice and it's creative. And here's a black and white. Black and white's all the rage, and you can put a little gift there and imagine an over the hill little gift. And like I said, fill them up using your imagination. The holidays are coming, make a bunch of Halloween ones. You don't want to take the time that Carol did to add all these little decorations. You're not great with your glue gun or tape. Use designer paper and then make this with, for Halloween. This one you could use the flower and just put a little Halloween color on there and write boo across from it. This would be nice, of course, for Valentine's Day or for a wedding or for anniversary. And then the butterfly for just anything. Butterflies are year round now. People love butterflies. So again, great little gift boxes. use them for whatever you may. And Carol did such a nice job with these to show you how they how they do up with embossing and embellishments. You will enjoy these for all of you who like the dimensional dies. Now the next one is amazing. I saw this and Carol again made something for my father, and it is a box for inside his room, for him to put his trinkets and letter and correspondence. Dad was a writer when he was more mentally with us. He had written articles and published articles, and to this day he still likes to have a pen in his hand and write things. So this will be a very nice thing in his room. He will treasure. He will also like boxes to put things in, so, and most men do. But I have to show you this. Now of course you are now seeing these swirls and how beautifully they cut and how wonderful they look. This is craft paper on designer cardstock, and for a manly kind of thing she did a black floral here. And I'm just going to show you, there's hinges here, right here, and just more added embellishments of lace on the side and some brass brads. And Carol will tell you, if you go to her blog, she'll post this and tell you kind of, I don't know if she can give you exactly how she made it, because I do believe she made this out of her brain, but she can, these are doorknobs that she made for the feet. You can see the 4 here, and she can give you an idea of how to make one if you want to replicate it. Most of you though, once you see something, you know exactly how to do it, but there may be a few tips and tricks that she can give you. She did use a lot of explanation with me on things, and so if you have questions I might be able to answer for you. And then like I said, my design team does like for you to visit their blogs and leave them some comments and stuff, and they answer. They are the most helpful ladies in the world. So this unlatches it, and there's another knob here to open it up, and then we have this beautiful man's correspondence box for my dad to write little letters. He does still write little letters. Carol sent him some letters before, and I noticed that he used the majority of them up. He has about 3 left. So he is sending cards, and I think the nurses help him with that, and the activities people, because someone will say it's their birthday and he will want to automatically give a card, because any relative of mine is a card was forced into being card giving people, because I've been making cards since I was let's see, I think 10, making cards on a level where they were actually nice enough to give to people. So my family always got used to giving cards, because they could just ask me to whip one up. As my sister, who was an artist, she could whip anything up too. So I'm going to go in now, because I know you want to see some of the other dies. Now if you notice, these are the dies that were with the let me think here, not this one per se, some of these are in the basic envelope set, but this isn't one. I'm sorry, I'm leading you astray here. But she made these little cards to put in, and she stamped them up for my dad, and I'll just go through these to show you. These aren't part of the set, these are that I'm selling, but I don't want to leave anything out. I want to give Carol her beautiful credit where it's due, and they're all, as you can see, kind of manly themed cards that would work nice. And here is, oh my gosh, here's some pretty all the rage is to sew on cards now with a machine, and happy birthday, and then another one that says dream with some hummingbirds. And here's the little sock. This is all designer paper. I was wondering about the hinge here, how Carol did this hinge. Duct tape. Isn't that clever? Duct tape. Duct tape, indestructible. Line that with duct tape. You got a nice hinge that closes and opens here. See, close, open. Sorry if I startled you with that. And so here are Dad's cards. Now, those weren't too much of the release to show, but we're getting to that, because I do see some of the release here. Now she made him this little book with friends' addresses and phone numbers. Well, we'll be honest here. Dad's probably not going to do much with this, except that it is a book with little lines in it. And Dad will jot notes down and words down. That is something he did in his adult life. Dad had these little notebooks all over, and he used to jot his little notes and thoughts down in there for future writings, when he'd write an article on antiques, or he'd have different books for different occasions, just little thoughts he would do. It wasn't poems. I don't want to make him sound romantic, because he certainly wasn't. It was more for his ideas and organizational skills. Dad was very organized. So this is from the basic envelope set, and we will get in because Carol made some envelopes to go with the cards. So here is the envelopes that go with the dies we're selling. Make these envelopes. So we just have pattern paper, and we have these beautiful inserts. Now that came with the envelope, and I want to turn this over to show you. This is a nice envelope with a nice flap, and inside of it is the insert that, let's see here, pull this out. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the insert that is the liner to the card. I'm trying to pull out a liner here. Well, that was bright, darling. This is a liner. Don't try to pull liners out of cards. But I wanted to show you how beautiful of an envelope this is. And here's another one, different pattern paper, but the same kind of idea with the, I'm sorry about the lighting. I try to use sunlight to tape my videos, and it's all over the place with clouds here. There was no clouds. Of course, I pull out the video, and here we have clouds. So again, and I want to show you again that back of that envelope. I won't pull out the liner this time, okay? And then we have our other one here. And she just made these series where Dad can jot to and from. You could even print a little address in there and your return address there. The mail system will do it. But this is a nice cutting envelope. And she even put that dried gum paste you can use to lick it and seal it. And they're pretty much the same. I'll go through these quickly, but you get the idea. She made them with that die cutter, and they came out. Now we have a little bit different here. She cut a slat in the envelope. It's the same envelope, see it? See that beautiful opening? And she cut a slat here, and you can slide in put the person's name in there, or show a peep of the card, which is not a very popular thing to do. So Dad will have a lot of little envelopes to go, and these envelopes were made with the die. And like I said, I love making envelopes because you can use so much scraps and just wonderful things. And then, let's see here, we have just some little scrap paper for Dad to write his notes on, and fold in half, and add to his little cards he may be making for his little friends, or me if he wants to write me a note. And she did a few more clever things with this box. We're not through yet. She added some postage stamps for Dad. She made an envelope from that little die that was in the envelope set, and she added some stamps, which will make Dad happy because stamps are a normal thing in life, and they are recognizable by Dad. So even, he might waste them or he might not use them appropriately, but they're a comfort thing for him. And I think I'm giving a lot of people ideas what to do for their elderly parents or people with dementia. Now, Carol did say this is a cute little card scent thing, and it looks like nail polish, and she said, don't give this to your father because someone could drink it. And yes, that's true, but this is just if you're making a set for someone else. A nice pen included in. This is just a wonderful gift. I mean, who wouldn't want to receive this? And then she made some of the tiny envelope. Remember that envelope had a tiny envelope, this would be nice to stick, I think Carol said, like in somebody's lunch. But it's just this tiny little envelope with tiny little notes to put inside. I love little notes. This would be cute to tuck in with a gift, or just to leave on a table for somebody, or as a placemat, and then put a little note inside at the dinner table for the person, like, so glad you could come, we've missed you, or a personal little message. And then here's the clever idea. Carol, my design team's so clever. I love my design team. I call them mine like I own them. I don't mean to sound like that, but they're mine. I picked them, and I'm just so proud of them. And she put these on like the Xyron, where you make your own stickers, and she made Dad some the things you put on envelopes, seals, his own seals, so he could do that, and it has his own stickers, and added that to the box. And here it is, envelope seals. And she made the circular with this dot in the middle and the lacy one. And this all comes in that set with the envelope. So this is a great set. And I just want to thank Carol for making these beautiful samples to share with all of us. I hope you enjoy it. Please leave Carol some messages on her blogs how you enjoyed it. And I'm glad a lot of you are getting ideas for your elderly parents or grandparents on things to make and give them, because it is hard to figure out what to bring them, what they're allowed to have, what's safe to have, and what they like. But they do like familiar things, so writing in a box is such a great idea. And even just to make your mom or dad a bunch of cards and leave it in their drawer, I guarantee that they will look at those and play with them, or the other residents will take them, and that's a compliment too, because it's kind of a community thing. Anyone who knows a family member that's in a dementia unit, pretty much what you bring in, you expect other residents may have some of it too, and that's just kind of a rule. Don't let that get to you. It's part of their life. Your loved ones taking things too, because that's what they do. So everyone, I hope you're staying cool this very hot summer we're having in the States. And my foreign friends, whatever season you are in, I hope the weather's good, and I hope you're all doing well. I will see you with the next video next week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.